Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is StudioPlug, and in this video I will be showing you guys how to make a Juice Wrld style beat, since I've been getting that request. And he's been ranking a lot on SoundCloud and pretty much all the charts on almost any streaming service. But I just want to get into the topic of this beat. I will be using guitars and mainly ambient sounds, and I will be diving into the new wave media kit that I just dropped at StudioPlug.net. Anyway, there's a sale going on, Independence. Use coupon code Independence to receive 25% off at checkout for the month of July. Anyway, let's get into this tutorial and get started. Alright, so everything is pretty much sound selection. Just go ahead and browse what sounds you would like. For this one, as you guys can see, I just used the guitar. But right after you guys got the sound down for the chord, go ahead and add the melody and just mess around with it until you get a good melody going on. Alright, now let's just push Control Q just to quantize them. Alright, now that we have the melody down, let's go ahead and just try some different sound selection for the main melody. I'm thinking something more ambient just to match some of his recent work. Alright, so now that we have all the sounds down, let's go ahead and just add a clap and the rest of the samples. Just follow along as I do this. Alright, so now let's go ahead and add the hi-hat. So everything's pretty much easy, as you guys can see. Just sound selection and just moving things around. It's not really too hard. I just usually mess with things and hopefully try to get something that sounds good. It takes a while, but I end up getting the job done. Alright, now for the 808, we're just gonna go ahead and tune it. Copy the bottom notes of the main melody and just go ahead and move it up and down wherever sounds best, just to try to get it in sync with the bottom notes. The 808s are usually on a different key. Even though it'll be on C, it wouldn't even sound like the C key. So just a heads up, just move things around and you guys will get the hang of tuning your 808s a lot more faster. So I'm just gonna fast forward to this part because it's just laying down the 808. The 808 is pretty much just wherever you want to place them. At the end of the day, making a beat is however you like it, whatever art you're creating. You are the artist, you are the one that's creating your music, and that's what's gonna stand out. So just be creative, find your own ways of doing things, and you'll get the hang of it. Your music will start standing out once you start focusing on yourself more. Alright, so now let's go ahead and just mess with the hi-hats. I'm not gonna do something too crazy because this is a chill beat and there's no point for just making some crazy hi-hats on a chill beat. So I am gonna make it just a little bit crazy. So let's go ahead and just add them. So just chop up the hi-hats and mess around with them. As you guys can see, it's pretty easy. Just do the same method and place them where you think is best, and voila, you got everything down. So that's all the sounds I have right there. Sounds pretty dope. Nice hi-hat rhythm we got going on. So let's go on to the next part now. Alright, now let's go ahead and just add the perks. Every track needs a perk. If you guys don't have a perk, then you're probably sleeping and you need a Poke Flute to wake you up, because this thing is not something to sleep on. Make sure you have perks on most of your beats. I make them on almost all my beats, just letting you guys know. But it's just advice. Anyway, let's get back into it. Alright, so for this part, I'm just gonna add a pad just to give it that ambient feel, you know, that little atmospheric vibe to this beat, since Just Wrld does have that vibe. So just go ahead and add a pad. Alright, so since this is a Juice Wrld type beat or Juice Wrld tutorial, I won't be getting into the mixing and mastering too much. I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward this whole process, but you guys can see it in fast motion. But I do have a mastering and mixing tutorial you guys can go look at if you guys do not know how to mix and master it. And I also provide mixing and mastering kits on my website, StudioPlug.net. But I would suggest for you guys to just learn it. That way you guys don't have to spend your money. But if you guys, already know it and are looking to just have a faster process of mixing and mastering, you guys can go ahead and purchase it as well. But yeah, this process isn't really easy. As you guys can see, all I do is pretty much is level all the sounds out. Leveling is probably the most important part when you're mixing and mastering. Right after I level, I just slightly EQ just to get rid of the the certain frequencies that the sound doesn't use. Once I remove all the frequencies from the sounds, that's when I have everything leveled out. Sounds all clear to me. Everything's some of the sounds are stereo separated or in mono. Once everything is perfect, that's when I go to the master and I just slap on my mixing and mastering preset, well, my master preset. But what it pretty much is just using Maximus and a Fruity Limiter. You just gotta know how to use Maximus, and like I said, you guys can watch my mastering tutorial and it has all the basics that you guys need and almost everything I do, so just a heads up. So I'm just gonna fast forward the layout part. Everything's pretty much optional. Sometimes I take a long time on it. Sometimes it's pretty easy and it's just natural. Sometimes I just add some rises, some different effects, chop it up, just make it sound different. But for this tutorial, I'm just laying it out quick, as you guys can see, and just doing everything pretty fast for you guys. And after, I'll go ahead and lay out the beat. But like I said, everything is pretty much optional. The only hard part, I would say, is just sound selecting and mixing and mastering. But if you have some good VSTs, you should be straight. I know some good stock ones are like Harmer, and there was this other one, I forgot the name, but it's a stock VST for FL Studio, but it has like ambient sounds as well. If I remember, I'll go ahead and put it in the comment section below. But anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. If you guys enjoyed what you guys saw, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and give me some feedback, and let me know what you guys like to see next. Anyway, that is it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.